I don't know if Angel Reese is coming back to Unrivaled. They've named all their players except for 3 spots, and they have not named her yet. So I'm not sure. What do you think? You think she's coming back? So that's right. Unrivaled, they've named most of their players coming for the year 2, the second season. And like I said earlier, Angel is not one of the people on that list. So a lot of people are speculating, is she coming back? Is she taking a year off? Or is she going to focus on business and just do some personal training? What is going to happen? But also there's a lot of players that played last year that still haven't been named either. So the list is wild and crazy. So I just want us to jump into it. I'm going to pull up the people that still hasn't signed to a team. And then we'll pull up the people that have. Well, let's just look through the online discourse about what's going on. So like this post says, there's 4 slots left. When they posted it was 4. Now it's 3 because they announced one more. Let me look and see. What was that last person they announced? I forget. They announced Kelsey Plum is coming back. Well, no, she signed to Unrivaled last year, but she did not participate. And a lot of us was just like, she's changing teams. She's going through a divorce. So it kind of made sense. You know what I mean? If she needed some personal space. But these are the players that are left to now fill the 3 spots. Tiffany Hayes, she was pretty decent on Unrivaled. She was sliding all over the floor. McBuckets, she still isn't been announced. Steph Dolson, I don't think I see her coming back. Jewel Lloyd is an interesting one. She's been pretty let down in the WNBA season, so I don't know. Courtney Vandersloot was really bad at Unrivaled and got injured, and that's what I'll say. So I don't see her coming back. Sabrina, her effort level, you could kind of tell, wasn't there during Unrivaled. Katie Lou Samuelson, I'm not sure. And then Angel Reese. So those players are the ones that played last year and still have not been announced. So it's interesting to see like who out of these players are going to actually be in Unrivaled, or are the last 3 going to be brand new players? Are we going to get Asia? Are we going to get Caitlin Clark? I think Asia has made it very clear she likes to do individual training in the offseason and not be a part of the league. She wants to rest her body and things of that nature. So I'm just saying Asia because she's not a part of it, but I doubt that she'll be somebody that is actually going to participate in anything during the offseason unless it's like Olympics or something like that. But so I doubt it's going to be Asia, but that's an interesting list. Again, people I could actually see coming back. I could see Tiff Hayes coming back, and I could see McBuckets coming back for sure. Jill Lloyd, maybe she'll come back to get some more reps up. Sabrina, like I said, I love Sabrina. She's actually one of my favorite 3 players. But her effort during Unrivaled, she missed a lot of games, and it just seemed like she wasn't mentally locked into what Unrivaled was doing. And Angel she's a toss-up. She was one of the faces of that league. Angel is a toss-up. She was a big part of why a lot of people watch, but Unrivaled did a good job of not making her the face of the league. Like when they showed on their marketing stuff, they would show one person from every team, and Chelsea Gray would be that person for the roles and not Angel. So she just got to kind of be a regular player in this league. But she was a big draw for, sorry, my allergies. She was a big draw for why people were watching. So I could see them, even if Angel was like, I want to take this season off, I could see them like incentivizing her with extra money, things of that nature. And she was defensive player of the year. She got injured, but the team won the championship. When they went on the run, because they were out of the playoff contentions, they went on the run. She was a huge part of why they went on the run. So she might want to come back, and the Rose might want to redeem their championship that they won. So I see a world where she comes back and plays. Like there's no reason for her not to, unless it just doesn't fit her schedule. If she want to try something different and maybe train with NBA players versus or NBA trainers versus going to Unrivaled, there's a lot of different things that could be happening. But I think Angel will come back. They might be just saving her for last because let's be honest, she's the biggest name that played last year. So they might save her for last to get people excited and ready for Unrivaled to come back. As you know, Fee and the WNBA are at odds, and Fee is kind of the face of Unrivaled on the business side, and her, the WNBA, is at odds. So a lot of players, the bigger players signing on to Unrivaled kind of might look like they're going against the shield of the WNBA. So that's another interesting thing to look at and think about when it comes to players like Caitlin, players like Sabrina, players like Asia, players like Angel. Those are kind of the big four names outside of outside of Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier. Those are the big four names, and none of them have signed to Unrivaled. So maybe this is just like, let's be careful about how we're gonna move because we don't want to cut off our nose and spite our faces. That's what my grandma used to say, something like that. So maybe it's that. Maybe that's why some of those bigger players aren't coming over. But I've seen a lot of people in the Caitlin Clark camp, not her camp, but her fan base saying she has to play this offseason. We don't know if the WNBA is going to have a season. So Caitlin needs to get on the court. She loves ball too much not to play for basically 20 months. And so they're speculating, will she go to Unrivaled? Will she go to AU? AU is just such a smaller brand than Unrivaled. Most people have heard of Unrivaled, especially in the women's basketball space. They've heard of it. Even if you don't watch it, you know what Unrivaled is if you're a part of the women's basketball space. But there's people in the women's basketball space that have never heard of Athletes Unlimited. They haven't heard of that. So Caitlin might go to that league and build that league up because it's a smaller league. And from what my boy Prince was saying is the WNBA are who actually are behind that league. So that's interesting too. So again, with the Caitlin Clark thing, her fans want to see her play. They haven't seen her in a while, and they don't want to have to wait 17 to 20 months, depending on what happens with the CBA negotiations, all that stuff. They don't want to wait to see her play, so they're hoping she jumps in one of these smaller leagues. Asia's one of the people that says she prefers to just do individual training, take some time off from battling, against playing 5v5, battling against opponents, and she benefits more from training. And some players and people are like that. Their games grows from training with trainers versus playing against competition. And when you're the GOAT, playing against competition, you're always playing down. So that might make sense for Asia to want to just do some individual training to get pushed and pushed and pushed. So that is kind of it. Like I said, we have a list of the players that have already been announced and the players that are sitting. Again, the players that are sitting that played last year: Tiff Hayes, Kayla McBride, Steph Dolson, Jewel Lord, Courtney Vandersloot, Sabrina, Katie Lou Samuelson, and Angel Reese. Those are the people that played last year but are still not actively announced as coming out for this year. And then again, like I said, people are speculating about Caitlin like they do everything else. They do want to see her play. Not mad at that. And then Asia's out there, but a lot of people don't think she's going to play in Rival because she's even said last year that she likes to be focused on individual workouts for the off season. And so again, I'll keep you updated. I'll come back maybe tomorrow or tonight with another video if the last 3 spots gets announced by the end of the day. It's 2:00 here in Texas, and I think they're doing 1 hour. So yeah, maybe by tonight we'll know the full roster. And I wonder if they're going to give us an idea who the replacement is going to be. I remember Heidemann was a replacement. She played a part of every team, and she was signed to the Rose when they won the championship. So it'll be interesting to see all that. But I've seen that tweet come out, and I wanted to throw it at you guys that may not have seen that tweet. So I'm AJ. This is my mic. Peace.